Hello everyone, welcome to my crash course on Google Classroom. My name is Allie, and I'm currently a 5th grade math and social studies teacher in Hanover, Massachusetts. I've been teaching for the past 2 years in Hanover. My first year teaching was just math, and my second year was both math and social studies. During both those years, I have been able to use Google Classroom to some extent, but I definitely saw that in my second year I used it much more, not only more often, but more efficiently. I learned a lot more about the platform. I saw my coworkers using it. I was able to observe how they used it and how I could use it better. And I've just really found it to be such a helpful tool in my own class when it came to collecting and monitoring student work in progress. I'm able to see all of their work on one platform. I can eliminate a lot of the paperwork that's usually involved in things like social studies, and I can have them complete a lot of assignments online where I can see all their work and I can monitor them every step of the way while also providing them more detailed feedback because it's right in front of me, everything they've done, every change they've made. And I can also see them collaborating in a way that I wasn't really able to in just regular real-time class discussions. So for this little mini crash course, you will learn about various Google Classroom features while also creating your own class to use with your students. So at the end of this session, I'll give everyone time to create their own classroom, add their students if they'd like, or really just make their own announcements and assignments and kind of play around with it, learn the different tools a little bit more. And I'll be walking around to answer any questions that you guys have, or if you would like to ask the questions on the Google Classroom that I will be adding you all to, then you can do that as well. I'll be available on there for any time that you would need. So what is Google Classroom? It is an online collection of student work and collaboration. So like I previously said, you can put a lot of assignments and different types of assignments too on Google Classroom and have that all in one space for you to reference whenever needed. For instance, if you were creating student portfolios or if you were showing student progress at parent-teacher conferences, you have this one platform where you can have a tremendous amount of solid evidence of students' progress, which is great. And it's also a collection of collaboration, which is something that I think was a little bit harder to collect in the regular classroom because if my students are paired up or in small groups scattered throughout the room working on a project, I can walk around and I can monitor the best that I can, but I'm not always to see in the most accurate light who is participating and how much each person is giving their input. But with Google Classroom, if my students are, for instance, to create one common slideshow and are all including their own elements, I can actually see that on Google Classroom and on their Google Slides. So it's a way that I can actually hold students accountable for how much they're collaborating with one another. And a lot of students are more comfortable collaborating on this digital platform. I've noticed that a lot of my students who aren't comfortable speaking in front of the class or even in front of small groups, I've seen them participating and providing much more of their own input on this online platform. So it's really been huge for the learning of my students, and it really has helped them be more active participants in class. It is also a free tool that all teachers have access to with your school email address and with your regular Gmail address too if you'd like to use that. I personally use both my Gmail and my school email address. You can create as many classes as you need on Google Classroom. You can even, if you are transitioning from one year to another and you're getting a little cluttered with how many you have from the year prior, you can archive old classes, which is great. And you can also set up each of your classrooms any way that you'd like. So each classroom can be totally different. They can be the same, completely up to your own discretion, whatever you feel comfortable with. So this is just a really nice short introduction video to Google Classroom and everything that it can provide for the kids.
A few years ago, I started to watch the teachers around me passing me. It got more intimidating once the computers came. I felt as though if I couldn't get this, it would be time for me to retire.
My mother didn't receive much of an education. Because of that, she wants me to achieve great things. So each objects have their own values, different values.
At
my house, I have 6 sisters and 3 brothers. Having lots of siblings is quite fun, but it's not peaceful. When I'm doing my homework, I go into Google Classroom. If I see my teacher's icon pop up, if I don't understand something, I could ask him and he'd be able to answer rather than having to wait till my next Spanish lesson.
I take the bus home. On my phone, from anywhere, I'm able to access Google Classroom. We don't have to waste time writing our assignments, wasting paper. It saves my time.
I find it useful to have classmates and teachers looking at your work. I can see where they've made mistakes and where I've made mistakes and where we can both correct it.
Ahora está muy bien. Sí, excelente.
I feel like I have made this breakthrough. You just click on their name and their document opens up immediately in front of you, and those beautiful thoughts come out.
I want to become a software developer.
I would like to get the qualifications for a judge because they help people out and stand up for people.
I want to be good my whole entire teaching career.
So for the rest of this session, we are going to be learning about how to create your own classroom, adding students, how to add assignments and different announcements, and also the different advantages and features that you guys have that really not everyone knows how to utilize. So stay tuned because you'll be seeing that next.